I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-ma-gob, it's time for the only news that matters on Black Sabbath Sunday. And Geezer Butler reflected on Van Halen's opening for Black Sabbath, noting how Ozzy didn't take it well when David Lee Roth allegedly began copying him every night on the tour. The story of Van Halen opening for Black Sabbath on the 1978 Never Say Die tour is now well established in the broader hard rock / heavy metal mythos as a tale of how a bar band from LA, which Ozzy Osbourne demanded so they wouldn't suffer the same fate they did when Kiss opened for them. And they managed to steal a show from one of the biggest bands of the era. And while having a relatively obscure band steal their thunder at a time where Black Sabbath's original lineup was on its last legs after years of substance abuse, overworking, and having their livelihood taken away by crummy managers. The godfather of metal nevertheless managed to strike a friendship with the younger colleagues and enjoyed seeing them do their thing. In a new interview with Brave Words, Geezer noted how he really liked Van Halen from the get-go. He said, "I really liked them. They did one of my all-time favorite Kinks songs, You Really Got Me. I immediately really liked them during doing the cover of that. And that was their first, big single. And they were great to get on with." However, Geezer noted how there eventually came a time when David Lee Roth began mimicking Ozzy, which didn't sit well with Ozzy Osbourne. He said, but then as the tour went on, David Lee Roth started copying, becoming like an Ozzy clone. It was really upsetting Ozzy at the time because whatever Ozzy did one night, David Lee Roth had said the same thing the next night. It was upsetting Ozzy. And then Eddie was doing these extended solos, so Tony had to have a word with him as well about that. But it was good because they brought in this whole new younger audience for us. They actually brought in some women and girls that we never really had at our gigs. Another thing that Sabbath didn't appreciate was that the label started paying more attention to Van Halen. He said, but what pissed us off is that Warner Brothers completely concentrated on Van Halen, and it was almost like we were the support band. Warner Brothers were like, you're an old hat kind of stuff. This is Van Halen. They're from the future. So they did everything for Van Halen, nothing for us. There was no promotion for us whatsoever. But they were great guys, a great band, and we enjoyed long-lasting friendships, especially Tony and Eddie. They were really good friends. So there you go. The big myth, how Van Halen totally smoked Black Sabbath on the Never Say Die tour. And it kind of sounds like it would be true because, you know, I like Black Sabbath more, but Black Sabbath was not even close to the energy that Van Halen had when I saw them in the 80s. I don't think any band can touch them. I thought they were the greatest live band ever. May not like them more than Sabbath, but I definitely will say I can totally see them being better than Black Sabbath live. Now, I've seen footage, of course, the Hammersmith gig, you know, his pro shot, and I've heard a couple bootlegs, like Shockwaves Over Texas and stuff like that. And I thought Black Sabbath sounded great. It was kind of like, all right, Van Halen smoked them, but it didn't necessarily mean that Black Sabbath sucked. I thought they were really good. I mean, the couple shows I have heard. And there's one guy, Jim Florentine, I think his name is, from the Metal Show, That Metal Show, whatever, with Eddie Trunk. he said that he saw Black Sabbath with Van Halen in Madison Square Garden. He said that Van Halen did not, own Black Sabbath. You know, the way he described it was he'd never heard of Van Halen. Van Halen was a brand new band, and he was blown away by him, but he thought when Sabbath came out that Sabbath was the better band. So, who knows, man? I kind of would side with, what Ozzy said. Shit, my brother saw that tour in Europe, and he said the same thing, how Van Halen smoked them. Ozzy said it. I don't think anybody else has said it in the Black Sabbath camp. But, yeah, man, you can't mess with the mighty Van Halen, man. And I remember, man, when that show came down here, and that's right when I started getting into music, and I loved that first Van Halen album. And I did buy Never Say Die at the time, so I was loving both those albums, and I begged and begged my parents to let me go, and they wouldn't let me, man. And I missed that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see Van Halen open for Black Sabbath. It was like, even back then, Black Sabbath was my favorite band. I'm telling you, I've been into Black Sabbath for decades. It's my favorite band. Now, as time gone by, I gotta say they are tied with 80s Merciful Fate. I can't pick which one I like more, 70s Sabbath or 80s Merciful Fate. It's a damn tie. Alright, so to fill up the only news that matters on this Black Sabbath Sunday, I am going to rank the songs off Never Say Die. The Black Sabbath album, that's not my favorite, but yet is the one that I play the most. I do love the hell out of it. So here we go. There's 9 tracks in all. And number 9, you wouldn't think I love the hell out of this album with how much I despise the song Breakout. I can't stand that freaking song. It's just so plodding, and then you throw in fucking horns. Oh, God, I hate horns, man. Sucky song. Number 9, Breakout. Number 8, not a bad tune. The only Black Sabbath song that features Tony Iommi in backing vocals, Hard Road. I put it down there, though. I mean, I think all the other songs are better. It's an okay song. It doesn't really, blow my world apart. But I have seen many people online that love the hell out of Hard Road. So that's cool. All right, at number 7. Now, the rest of these songs I love. At number 7, Over to You. Dark horse song. Not very talked about. I love Over to You. I think it's a fun, great song. At number 6, probably my favorite guitar solo on the album, from the song Shockwaves. That song rips, man. I just love the hell out of that song. Again, there's a lot of these songs that nobody talks about. At number 5, the title track, Never Say Die. Great, fun, energetic song. Love the way Ozzy sings it. And dare I say, I even like the Speak to the Devil version even more than the Black Sabbath version. I love Never Say Die, this song. Alright, number 4, the last song on the album, Swingin' the Chain, with Bill Ward on vocals. As I understand, I read somewhere that Ozzy hated the song so much he refused to sing it, so that's why Bill Ward sang it. I would have loved to hear Ozzy sing that. I think it's a cool tune. Either one singing it would have been good. Alright, number 3, Johnny Blade. A song about Geezer's brother, I think. He was like a bad kid and stuff, and I love the hell out of that song, man. Well, you know that Johnny's a spider, and his web is a city at night. Fucking awesome. Love it. Johnny Blade. Alright, number 2, number 1, man. It's not like, oh no, which one? No, but you know what? As years go by, it gets tougher and tougher for number 2 not to be number 1. It may be my favorite Black Sabbath song from Never Say Die in the future, but still, Air Dance is not my favorite song off the album, but it is number 2. And as we stand now, a very close number 2. All right, and my favorite song off of Never Say Die, Junior's Eyes, man. I love it. Unless, what's that guy's name? Dave Walker? Oh my God, have you heard his version of it? It's terrible. I hate it. And what's really odd about that version, it's from a TV show. They actually were filmed doing that song with Dave Walker, but you can only hear the audio on YouTube. I'd love to see footage of that TV show if it ever will be leaked. But there you go, everybody. That is my ranking of Never Say Die. So what do you all think? Leave it in the comments below. Hey, those that saw that show, leave it in the comments below. Let us know how badly they were destroyed by Van Halen, or do you think that no, Van Halen didn't own them? Leave it in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and ring that little notification bell. I totally would appreciate that. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.